Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're doing a solo playthrough for the game Deckscape Behind the Curtain. I might well do a piece to camera as well. This is going to be a review I'm also going to give as well, and let's crack on. So I have played two other Deckscapes as well. An Escape Room in a Box, 60 cards, work through it. So in this case we've got something in here. We've got some decks of cards. We're going to be working through this deck of cards and seeing if we can escape. So let's have a look through. You might want to slow this down. I might not read everything out loud, so just read through as I'm doing this. Okay, information here. Proceed to the next card. Contains a story of many puzzles. 1-6 players, last 60 minutes. Cooperative game, you win or lose together. Need pencil and paper and stuff like that. Okay, so a magic show. It's really lucky to see this. Flip to see this ticket. So please ensure you hit the like button, subscribe button, share notification bell if you're interested in this and other examples such as other escape room games. Check out my playlist for such. So now it's saying we have got some puzzles, some things are items. So we're a magician, here we go, and we are Lance Armstrong, and he's celebrating his 50-year career. He's got his first trick. What is unique? What is the same? How can you tell all this money is fake? Well, all the serial numbers are the same. And there we go. There's a solution. It does actually say that these are. That's going to be an easy trick. Okay, next up. This is going to say how long it's going to take to play, and then mark your time on here. So at this point, this can all be put away. So you can see this is how you're going to set up the game and how you're going to reset the game. So that's going to go away. We have a clue card, so as and when we see some cards, we can read these back to front. You're not allowed to use a mirror though to figure out the answer to that. And as you can see, that's how those cards go. So they can go out of shot for the time being. So we've still got this thing, we don't know what that is. We do have this magician's explanation. So a good magician has 3 tricks. First, let me show you something ordinary. So flip this over, and what has changed in this case, there are no table legs, and interestingly he's actually got what looks like a table leg there as well. So what's the next thing here? So how can you make it reappear? So in this instance the table has disappeared, so what do we see happen? So we saw something disappear then, and then we've got this. So how do you know that the magician is involved in this trick? Well, identical hands. So the hands are identical. And over here we have a trick whereby you're going to keep counting any of these 12-hour markers. You're going to move your eyes clockwise as many hours as indicated by the time you choose, and then you're basically going to be going back the same direction. So now you've done that, you're then going to go back twice the other direction and add on 5, and basically it's worked out that you're at 5 because it knows you're always going to reset to 12. So that's how that one works. Again, the other side is basically explaining how that's worked. And now we've got another one. So welcome to the stage, picking random numbers, and all of a sudden there's been an explosion, there's a fire, and something's going on. So now we found out this one. Which one? We're now in the basement, so how on earth do we get out of here? Which one is going to turn on the light bulb? Well, it's the red one, because it moves over here, and that shows you the solution. So now we're in a mysterious passage. We're not sure where we can go. And suddenly we are in this dressing room. So what on earth is going in this dressing room? And if you flip it over, it does sort of tell you where to go. So there's this dressing room. So you notice there's another door through which you can maybe find your way out, but it's locked. You try to break it down, it seems as hard as a wall. So we need a key. And suddenly we need to rearrange some cards. So let's move this off to one side. And by these types, you're going to lay them out. So we have this deck here. We've got some orange cards, some yellow cards, some blue cards, etc. And we're going to work through these out. These won't all be in shot completely, but it just gives you good explanation. There are other videos coming to the channel soon for the next month. In fact, videos are already scheduled. If you're interested in any competitions, check through Linktree. There are occasionally time-sensitive though, so they do disappear. Makes sense. And if you're interested in more photographs, check out Instagram, over 2,800 posts, and also Facebook to join the discussion. So where can we get out? Well, we need to get out through here. We need to find a key. What combination will open the trunk? Well, it's 2, 7, 4, 3, because of where there's lack of dots. You can flip that over and it tells you that's correct. Then you've got this trunk. Well, that one seems to match this card here. So then you can flip that over and it confirms that as well. And in this instance, we've found something. So yeah, an old photo. So among the deck in the trunk, you also find a strange picture, and it's showing you probably a magic trick, used some kind of past magic, some bulb going on here. So there we are. So we've got some strange magic picture going on, and we've got this little icon in here. So we can do this and maybe see what happens. So we have interesting here, we've got some spinning thing going on. I don't know how well that's visible for you. But we can see that the top bulb on the top right is not working. That's interesting. So now we can get rid of that card as well. Reassemble all those cards for the time being. And then we have this exit door, so flip only if you've received the key. Well, we haven't got a key at the minute. Which of these match up? We've figured out which of those matches up, so then it tells us that's the answer. And we've got this going on here, so we've got this. If we do this, let's have a look. That's the only one that doesn't match up, so we can flip that card. And we know which one is the correct answer. We found this little rabbit, so we flip this over, and suddenly we found this bizarre lettering. Interesting, we've got this mirror going on here. How can you make these numbers even? Well, let's come back to that. Got this mirror, we've just seen it's going to be this one at the top here. So here we go, we knew it was going to be this one over here, so that helps figures that one out. We've got this opaque mirror, so unscrew the bulb, flip the card, and oh, there's this opaque mirror. So I found there's two ways of doing this, but the number it's looking for isn't the one you may be thinking it is, depending on how you want to do it. You want to halve it to get 8 and 3 to make 11. So that's how that one works. And that can come off too. And now it seems that we found something else in here. We found a piece of a key. So now we've got a piece of a key going on, the right hand part of a key. What should be added to the dummy? In this case it should be a hat, because we can see from the prior picture that there was a hat in it. So that's now used. And now there's a talking dummy. Which numbers do you say to the dummy? So now we need to figure out which 4 numbers you have read to the dummy. Well, let's come back to that and try and figure out that another time. What else do we have? The mirror. So we've dealt with that mirror. We've dealt with that opaque mirror as well. We've now got this Japanese box. We've got this book here. Flip this card, and if you want to start reading it, let's start reading it. Okay, so right now there's best tricks. Then we've got this over here. How do you bring up a 6 of hearts? So now we can overlap here and see that we can actually get 6 of hearts. So now we've got 6 of hearts. That was the box lid. So now we've now completed that one. How can you get this water to go across? Well, you're going to pull this one over here and here to flip them all the other directions. And we've got this number over here, so flip the card. And now we've got some other things we can buy. Invisible ink, we've got the Japanese box, and we've got this modular key. So now we know how can we open it? Well, we use a magnetic key. So there we go, we found a magnetic key to open that thing. And now we found a lighter. So that's interesting. Do not flip this card. Okay, so now we need to figure something out here. So if you remember, we had that mirror earlier. So now if you look at this mirror, you can see there are some numbers. Can you see that? There are some numbers, yeah. So those numbers are telling us something. So from that, we are a bit like Medusa, trying to figure that out. So we now know what the correct combination is going to be. It's going to be, I think, 19, because you can see this is going to be backwards. So you can see that these aren't going to be what it is, because there's actually not a 3, because it looks like it's a 3 in reverse, but it's actually an E. So we have 51, etc. Or sorry, a 2 and 1. And in this instance, we now can figure out what this number should be. And there we are, it's telling us the answer. So we're moving on to this wooden spoon. And if you do make a mistake, then you do have to write down X's to say that you made a mistake. You can always look at that clue card, it won't cost you anything to look at the clue card. So now I've got a spoon, and how do you bend this spoon? Well, you can bend it into the box. So that is how you can bend a spoon. We've also got these hidden buttons. Where have we seen any of these symbols before? What we've seen is arrow already. So there we are, there's the arrow that we've seen. How many rings can you see? So we can see 1, on this picture, 2, 3, 4, because there's 3 rings, a red, a black and the white one, even though the white one's a bit subtle. Around the outside there's some more, so a total of 14. And there is, it's exactly 14, so it even shows you exactly where they are. And then the magician's top hat, well that's interesting, we've seen some lettering already. So you can flip that over, and now we've got some lettering going on here. And now we've got another thing, so which vinyl do you insert into the gramophone? So how do we figure this out? Now there's a couple of ways I'm thinking about doing this, but we need to figure that out. And how can we do it? Well, we do have this piece of paper. I don't know how this is going to come out, but yeah, I can see it through the camera. It says Brahms, so there's different lettering going on here. Wagner, Chopin, and Mozart. So we know Mahler is the only one, and there we go, that proves it. And now we've got one of these funny ones whereby you're playing these cards over here, and you can see various letters going on. I can see that you can see that. We can figure out something that's missing. So if you remember that first card, that ticket, we've worked out which of these symbols it's going to be. And there we go, it's telling us this should be the musical symbol. Is it power or is it click? Now, if you look through these cards earlier, we saw this, and you can see the C and the K work there, but it's not there with power, so I think it's click. So we can reveal that card as well. And there we are, it is in fact click. And we didn't even need the bunny before, but we managed to do it this way. So now we have a view from above. Flip this card, look at the key part. So now we have the middle part of the key. So now that deck is done with. We've now got how do we figure out, in this instance, how can you change both values? So we can now look at something like this to change it, or in this case, we can overlap a card. So how can you make both of these the same value, the same suit? And then, yeah, how can we change to do that? So in this instance, what you can choose to do is cover over that mirror and make an A and an 8. So I started to do that without even needing a mirror, and that's done it. And then how do you replicate the spoon trick? By bending in the box. How would you use that visible ink? We have that lighter. So that lighter allows us to now see using that invisible ink. And then we've got these normal playing cards, but this deck of 10 was prepared a special way. How do you know that someone's made a mistake? Well, we can see the orientation of these cards, and we can see that the 3 is going down, all the other spades are going up. Actually, that's going down as well. Let's have another look at this. So that's wrong. It's the 5 of spades, because every other spade is pointing down. That's correct. And the same trick again, but everything seems to be the right orientation for the type of thing it is. So it must be the king of diamonds, and it is the king of diamonds. So how do you create a 4 of spades on this page? Well, I think we might want to combine multiple cards here perhaps. And yeah, we could do like something like this. And if you look, we can actually get 4 of spades going on. So that's how you combine both cards. So now that one's done as well. And we've got the final key part. So we now have all the key parts. We can now exit the door. And there we are, we've found the key part. We've now hit a wall, and we've now got this. So now thinking, what can we do here? Well, maybe if we take these cards or something like this, we'll see if we can actually figure a way out here. So we have an 8, there's a 0, there's a 5, there's a 3, and I did see a 5 a second ago as well. Where'd that 5 go? Oh, there it is, and there's the 5. Okay, so we now have those numbers. We now know what says to the dummy, those particular numbers. So we say them in any order we like, and now that's done. And now we need to find out exactly where we are. So now we need to take all those cards and sort them in order. So now we can grab all those cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's figure out where we're up to. Dressing room is 16, the exit door is 17. A brick wall is 18. We've now got a few other cards just to sort out. We've got this 19, 20, the old photo, 21, 22 is 25, 23 in there, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Any comments you want to give? Like I said, I always give it best in YouTube. That's 32. Let's just do these ones as well. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. That's done. We have a magic chest, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So there we are, we've put everything back together now. And as you can see, we start off with the exit door, we have a closed trunk, we have that mysterious book. What else do we then have? We then have the mirror, and then we have the magic chest. Everything's been put together again. These can all go back in here, I guess, I don't know. But then we have that talking dummy, so 52, 53. And look, there's some weird writing off to the right hand side here. We don't know what that is, but let's look here. Oh look, there's some lettering going on. So if we did something like this, you can see something. Oh, look at that. It looks like the Statue of Liberty. Can you see that? There's a nice hand, like a torch going up there. Can you see that? I can see it. So I think they're at the top of the Statue of Liberty. That's where I think they are. So now we can turn it over. And look, we're at the Statue of Liberty. So that has been correct. How do we get down? Well, we have a unicycle, we've got various things, a cap with a propeller on it. I think it's the coat hanger to get down. And it is. And then how do you make sure you do get down without crashing? I think you should drop. Oh, you do drop indeed. And then what's happened next? So before proceeding, mark your current time. So we're at 14 minutes. And then suddenly, boing, 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 rip, you fall into the void. So you fall into that tent, the marquee. And now it says the trick of the flight. So everyone goes crazy for the magician because they've realised that actually this was a prank the whole long time. See how long you take to do your trick. And obviously, fond farewell from the magician. And there are other games you can play. So I have played Time Test and I have played Heist of Venice. Heist of Venice is the first time I played, and you're trying to get up and out through a building in Venice. And that is the game. That is how the game plays. As I just say, this is a game, a playthrough you'd only want to watch if you have completed and obviously played a different escape room. Maybe this one already, and you're just keeping an eye on testing stuff, maybe from memory. But yeah, this is obviously a fully massive spoiler one. Just a chance for you to kind of see what this game is about and whether you may have not discovered something like this. I know other people do playthroughs, and it's a chance to see, if this is something you might want to consider getting. It's been a bit different, as you can see, fully resettable, holds its value because you can just obviously sell it on. There's no destruction going on whatsoever, nothing to burn, get wet or anything like that. Very nice. So my review, 7.23 out of 10. And for now, back to the table.